Welcome back. Before the break, we saw Tatiana McFadden win her 6th gold medal, an outstanding performance. We also saw a great performance from 2 British girls this morning in the 200 metres. They're joining us now, Sophie Kamlish and Laura Sugar. Thanks so much for coming along. Let me start with you, Sophie. A bronze medal. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it's really amazing. I really didn't expect that, especially in the 200, which I really don't like.
Now, we'll see the race shortly, but you went out relatively slowly, didn't you? We normally imagine you to get a fast start, but it wasn't like that on this occasion.
Yeah, I've done 2 other 200 metres this season, so and both of those I went out as fast as I could, and I did it in about 30 seconds. So I knew for this one I would definitely conserve energy for the straight, and obviously that gave me a PB of 28.7 something. So yeah. And the conditions,
well, we got to get half blown away here, aren't we? We're not easy.
No, they weren't the best, but it was the best run I'd done this season. So obviously, I managed to power through that wind.
And you're the youngest athlete on the team in London. How much have you learned since then?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I mean, I'm still the same age as I was, but I'm 17 in about a month. So yeah, I've learned loads from it, and it was such an amazing experience. And so is this. It's just really taken off from there. And I've done loads of international competitions abroad, which I hadn't done any previous to the Paralympics. So yeah.
Talking about new experience, Laura, I mean, this is your first year in the sport after a dramatic change from being an able-bodied hockey player.
Yeah, it's all happened very quickly. I think I did my first race was the end of March, so I've had to learn quite quickly. It was good in a way that I had all the hockey background. I was in quite a lot of training for that, so I think that helped me start quite quickly and progress quite a lot.
And you've got an experienced coach in Hayley Ginn, who I think was Johnny Peacock's first coach.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, so it's great to have her to teach me all the basics, and she's been brilliant. I think a couple of months I've been with her now, so yeah, it's going really well.
Okay, let's look at this 200-metre race from this morning, and perhaps first of all, Sophie, you can sort of talk us through that bend.
Well, I just was trying to stay a sort of a kind of equal distance apart from whoever's in front of me, which is Laura, and I knew that I wouldn't be beating Amelie or Marlou, so I didn't even think about them. So I just ran the bend a lot faster than I usually would, which is I'd usually be literally slowing down to walking right now. And so yeah, just managed to make it there.
And Sophie, we can see there you wear quite a large prosthetic blade when you run.
Yes.
Do you think that'll get smaller as you get more experienced?
Yeah, it's my first ever blade I got, and I've got quite a long leg. It's literally the foot that I had amputated. I still have my ankle, so it's like a comfortable amputation, so I can walk around really well in a day leg, and obviously there's just enough space for me to even wear a running blade, so obviously that's really lucky. So yeah, I think the blade, probably it will get a bit more sort of refined, because I had the angle changed really before the Paralympics, and then it made me go faster, but it also kind of made me have really bad hip back problems. So I was kind of injured for the Paralympics because of it.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't want to do anything too drastic.
So we see quite a large socket, but all of that is actually taken up by your leg.
Yeah, it's all taken up by my leg. It's not because I have just a really chunky.
Apologies for saying you had a chunky prosthetic. Laura, you don't have an amputation, so
No.
So what's your impairment?
So I was born with talipes on my left foot, and so it meant that my foot was kind of almost facing backwards when I was born, and so to correct it they had to operate and cut the Achilles tendon to move around. So on the classification it's how much degrees of movement in your ankle, and I've got pretty much no movement in my ankle, so I don't build up a calf, so that's what classifies me.
And at what point did somebody come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, I think you might be able to run in disability athletics?
It was literally I'd seen a couple of people like Dan Rees and Alan who in the Paralympics last year, and I kind of thought, oh, hang on a sec, I think they have similar to me. And then it was actually when I was with Wales with my hockey, and had a medical screening day just before Christmas, and the doctor was like, you're classified. I never knew that I would be in a classification. I know I struggle with some things with my foot, but I never knew that would put me in a classification. So I went to a sports fest just before Christmas, and yeah, I went from there.
Here you
pretty
are
much.
in the World Championships, coming fourth in the 200 metres.
How are you finding it? Are you enjoying it more to the hockey that you competed in able-bodied sport?
Yeah, like it's completely different because it's like an individual sport and a hockey team, but it's a great change. And I'm really competitive. I love like the racing side of it, and I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the training and getting quicker and quicker each race. So yeah.
Now, you come from a multi-sport background, as does Marlou, the superstar over the distances. Yeah. Can you perhaps look at how she's made the transition and see if you can find any similarities?
Yeah, hopefully, because she's done quite a few years, and you can see how good she is and how talented she is. So hopefully I can work on a bit, like my technique will be slightly different because I actually have my legs, so I've got to work in different ways to compensate for no ankle. But yeah, hopefully I can take a leaf out of her book and try and improve as much as I can. So, yeah.
Well, stay with us. We're going to talk to you a little bit more in a moment. But we're going to head back to the track now. I know this win is absolutely flying flow, which isn't going to make it easy for us. Ray Martin going for his fifth gold medal.